Welcome to the 2020 Winners Banquet. Obviously, we're doing this virtually, so it's a little bit different, but what you're going to see here is each one of the coaches and advisors or directors come in and do a video. Some of them are here, some of them are done virtually at other places, and we're compiling them all along with some pictures and of events and things like that to try to put together a video to recognize all the letter winners and especially our seniors who are going out this year in sort of a very unusual way. But hopefully this will at least be an effort to try to give you a lasting impression that maybe you can fall back on in future years and keep as a memento, since we did not get to have the chance to have the recognition in person. This would usually have been sponsored by the Lions organization here in our communities, and we always like to thank them for all their support. They've done a great job in the past with our youth and recognizing all of our activities and giving us a lot of support. I guess I'd like to start off by thanking our seniors for their efforts and all their activities they have done with their time here as an athlete or fine arts member or a group member or any of the activities they sponsored in, and the successes they have, and congratulate them, and hopefully those were lifelong lessons that they can take into the future and apply them to their everyday life. So with that, we'll start off with the seasons and the coaches, and we'll probably roll one right after the other. Thank you. The Senior Weight Award has been chosen by coaches at Deer River School this year, and it usually goes to obviously a senior that has put a lot of time improving themselves physically in our fitness center facility and weight room, and isn't necessarily always the best athlete or an all-star when it comes to maybe their teams, but they put a lot of effort individually into getting better and getting bigger, stronger, and faster. And this year's Senior Weight Warrior Award for the male goes to Thor Conjure, and the Senior Weight Award winner for the female goes to Alexa O'Hearn. Congratulations, and thank you for all of your efforts. The Minnesota State High School League gives out two awards. One is called the AAA Award, which goes to a senior that is involved in all three areas of academics, fine arts, and athletics. And it is their top prestigious award that the high school league gives out. Every school is able to nominate one male and one female. Those winners go on to the subsection. From the subsection, they pick a winner, and those go on to the section. And then the section picks a winner of each, and they go on to compete at the state. And this year they are usually announced at the state boys basketball tournament, where they pick an overall state winner in each of those. This year, our AAA award winners are Alexa O'Hearn and Alex Rivera. Both of them have shown outstanding attributes in all three of those areas: academics, fine arts, and athletics, and are great representatives of Deer River Warriors, and will go on to compete at the subsection level, which would be the 4 or 5 schools surrounding us in our area. Congratulations to Alexa O'Hearn and Alex Rivera. The Excel Award is given out by the Minnesota State High School League in a little bit different format. It's given out to a junior in each school, and the juniors go on to compete at the state level. They do not go on to subsection or section level, but it adds an extra element besides the academics, fine arts, and athletics. It adds in community service and leadership. And the junior chosen for Deer River Warriors as an outstanding Excel Award winner for the Minnesota State High School League is Hannah Monroe. Congratulations, Hannah. Hannah was one that went on to represent Deer River at the state level and is an excellent choice for the Deer River Warriors. Congratulations, Hannah. The Senior Letter Winner Awards go out to seniors that have earned 12 letters, either academically through fine arts or athletically in grades 9 through 12 in their career here at DRHS. This year's winners for the Senior Letter Winner Award, which they will be receiving a plaque with all of their letters and the years they lettered on them, are Colby Gunderson, Thor Conjert, Brianna Metzenhuber, Marshall McKenzie, Nisha Moore, Alexa O'Hearn, and Shannon Regal. Congratulations for receiving 12 letters minimum in your high school career.
Good afternoon, Deer River students and Deer River athletes. Welcome to the 2019-2020 Letterman's Banquet. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the cross-country team and all the other sporting events that go on within the year. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Shimmick, the school board, the parents of the runners, and the runners themselves for trusting me and believing me and coaching these student athletes throughout the year. I want to begin saying congratulations to Darian and Taryn for excellent senior seasons. These seniors and underclassmen came to practice every day with the right mindset. We worked every day, and honestly, I think this is the hardest I worked the team in my 4 years of coaching cross country. Mainly, we were in the weight room every day, and then afterwards, we went out and did our runs. They worked extremely hard. It was a very passionate season this year. Took a little break of not making it to the state qualifier this year, but that's okay. You live and you learn. And this year was also frustrating, not because of the runners themselves. It was more of the inclement weather that happened day in and day out with practice and the meets themselves. Usually meets that were sunny in the previous years were not this year. It was either raining or snowing. So it was a little difficult at the time. But our Deer River meet was excellent this year, had excellent weather, had excellent help, and want to say thank you to all the people that volunteered during that meet. With that, I'd like to thank you guys for the hard work you guys put in and the awesome attitudes that you guys brought every day of the season. This year, our letter award winners were Emma Francisco, Dorian Tappo, Taryn Howard, and Matt Schaff. The future's bright. Had a lot of great underclassmen that outperformed mindsets and goals that they put for themselves, and they achieved those this year. So that was great also. Just want to say, hope you guys are safe. Hope everything's good. And have a great rest of the summer. Bye.
The 2019-2020 volleyball team had a great season. Having 4 seniors leading the team made this year so wonderful. We ended our season with a 7-22 record overall, but that didn't stop the girls from having a great year. In the playoffs, the girls took on the Hill City Hornets and came out victorious. We then traveled to Chisholm to take on the Blue Streaks, where we lost in a tough defeat. The team has so much to be proud of. We had 4 awesome seniors play with us this past season, and a great senior manager help us out with the team. Kylie Gullickson, Nisha Moore, Alexa O'Hearn, and Jenny Tyler played for us, and Riley Christie was our awesome manager. These 5 young ladies were a huge asset to the team in many ways. They were great role models for their younger classmates. They gave their team 110% at every game and every practice, and they also showed us great leadership throughout the whole season. Kylie and Jenny were our setters this past season. Alexa was one of our outside hitters, and Nisha was our right side hitter. These 4 young ladies were the backbone of our team. Riley helped us out with stats and doing video for the team. She helped us coach us out in many ways at games and especially at practice. They are all so wonderful, and we as coaches cannot say enough great things about them. Seniors, from all of us coaches, good luck in your future endeavors, and thank you so much for an amazing volleyball career here at Deer River High School. It has been such a blessing being able to coach and get to know all you young ladies. Now for the awards. Iron Range Conference All-Conference. This award goes to a young lady who worked hard to come back on the court after sitting a year out due to injury. She's a great athlete and amazing person overall. This award goes to Alexa O'Hearn. Iron Range Conference Honorable Mention. This award goes to 3 young ladies who helped the team out immensely. They are great athletes and wonderful young ladies. This award goes to Grace Berglund, Antavia Bowstring, Neva Evans. Northern Lakes Conference All-Conference. This award goes to a young lady who never gave up and strived to be the best volleyball player she could be. This award goes to Alexa O'Hearn. Northern Lakes Conference Honorable Mention. This award goes to 3 young ladies who worked hard during the season and gave their team everything they had. This award goes to Antavia Bowstring, Neva Evans, and Taylor Peck. Academic All-State. This award goes to a young lady who worked hard to keep her grades up and achieve her goals as to be a top student. She ended her volleyball career with a 4.0 GPA. She's a great athlete and a wonderful student. This award goes to Nisha Moore. Letter winners. These individuals made the 2019-2020 season so successful. Each one had a different role on the team and took these roles with such grace. The letter winners are Kylie Gullickson, Nisha Moore, Alexa O'Hearn, Jenny Tyler, Tori Antela, Abby Sheeter, Grace Berglund, Antavia Bowstring, Neva Evans, and Taylor Peck. I just want to thank the seniors and the team again for an amazing season. It was a great year with so many accomplishments that the team should be proud of. Seniors, your presence from this past season was a huge delight and will be missed next year. Again, good luck with your future endeavors, and know that DRHS will always have a special place in our hearts for you.
We're going to start with the senior football team in Warrior football. I had a great season. You know, you start with your goal every year is to get to the state tournament. They accomplished that goal. This isn't probably the way we wanted to celebrate it come the end of the year, but this is the audible we were dealt. So it was a typical year as far as you know, you got to overcome a lot of obstacles. You always have that in any team sport, I believe. You know, you have some injuries you might have to overcome and some other things, and with the leadership of this senior class that's here in front of us on these helmets, they were able to accomplish that. You'd always wish you'd done a little bit better. You know, we got to the state tournament. That was our goal. Had a good game against Bold. Bold ends up being the state runner-up. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you get that far, everybody's going to be good. And the section final game against Bram, you know, that was a pretty dominant game against a very good team that you had played for the second time. You know, those are the things that you're not going to forget, and I hope you don't forget. And that got us there. You know, tonight is about honoring our seniors. You know, that's where I'd like to focus, I guess. You know, this is a group of kids that have been in the system since 4th grade, and along with their parents, you'd like to thank them for all the efforts that they've done to help your program, and you know, sort of passed on some of those traits and some of those working skills and do's and don'ts onto the younger kids. And this class was very, very good with that. They're very, very smart. They're very football smart. And that's, I think, what helped them overcome a lot of things. You know, we were district champions from the year before. You know, to repeat, that's very, very hard in our district because, you know, it puts a little bit of a target on your back, and they were able to do that. Because of the success they had, we were able to they were able to receive a lot of awards. I'd like to sort of announce some of them now. We were given 7 all-district selections, or we were by the various coaches from the district. They were Thor Condred, Trevor McKenzie, Marshall McKenzie, Trey Fairbanks, Logan David, Quentin White, and Austin Raisley. And we were also given 2 honorable mention all district, which were Blake Fox and Tate Condren. They earned it. They were chosen by the coaches in our district, and a lot of that had to do with their successes and the things they have done. The district then picks an all MVP lineman, an MVP offensive back, and an MVP defensive back. And actually, Deer River had athletes nominated in all three areas, but Thor Condren was chosen the MVP lineman for the district. That's a very big honor when you're considering that's offensive and defensive linemen together for 8 teams, so that's quite an honor. He was also chosen Academic All-State. Academic All-State's a little bit different in football. That's set by each coaches association's criteria, and football is very, very difficult. There's only 14 chosen in the entire state, and he was one of those 14. Our captains this year were Thor Condren, Trevor and Marshall McKenzie, and Logan David. The team at the end of the season voted on team awards in 5 or 6 different areas. Most valuable offensive lineman was Thor Condren. Most valuable defensive lineman was Quentin White. Most valuable offensive back was Trevor McKenzie. Most valuable defensive back was Trey Fairbanks. And the most valuable special teams player was Austin Raisley. We ended up with 30 kids lettering this year, which is a large group. We're not going to list all those names off tonight, but that is also a reflection on the type of season that they had. The good thing about that is it gives those kids a chance to play on the varsity field and in a big situation, so that can only help for next year. But tonight is really about our seniors. That's where I guess I'd like to focus and talk a little bit about each of our seniors, because with the spring that we've had and being able to have to do this way, this is the one chance we're going to get to sort of honor them for one last time. Thor Condren, it's hard. As I read earlier, he won quite a few awards here this season, and he was one of our captains, and he deserves those. It's hard to believe that back in he ends up getting MVP lineman for the district, but back in 7th and 8th grade, he was the quarterback for this bunch. So he's moved on to different positions and had to learn different positions, and was pretty much our fire up motivational guy. You got different types of motivations. You got guys that are the rah-rah guys and the ones that don't really say a heck of a lot, but Thor was the emotional leader by far out there, that's for sure. Alex Rivera. Alex probably had the most difficult job. I mean, he ended up playing center. He had never played center before. He was probably our smallest guy up front, but Alex always rose to the occasion. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And Alex was one of those that stepped up big time this year and really took on that leadership role and was the anchor on our line. Everything starts from there. When you think about it, everybody's got to learn a new position here and there, but he also has to snap the ball and know what the count is and if it's in a shotgun situation. So, that's a lot of responsibility, and he did a very good job. Logan David, 2-3-year starter for us, made some spectacular highlight reel catches this year, played tight end and defensive end for us, all district selection. Like I said, he's been there for 2-3 years. He's going to be a hard guy to replace up front. He was our weapon that we moved around a lot to try to get different scenarios going on or to make the defense counter those. He was the guy that we moved, so he played defensive end on defense, but also wide receiver and tight end on offense, and we moved him around quite a bit. Quentin White, by far probably our biggest defensive threat on the defensive line. We moved him all over the place. I remember after the game against Rush City where we ended up sealing the district championship there, he'd played defensive end all year and on one side or the other. And that game we put him at nose, and their coach is coming up to us saying, where'd that come from? Well, running the offense that Rush City ran, they were going to run away from him. So he put him in the middle, and they can't run away from him, and he did a heck of a job. He also started at tackle for us on offense, and for the last 2 years, actually last 3 years, he's been a starter on the offensive line. Lance Fairbanks, wide receiver, defensive back, corner, and safety. Another 2-year starter for us. Got a lot of time in as a junior also. Was our deep ball threat, and was the guy that we went to when we needed a big catch farther down the field. Marshall and Trevor McKenzie. Starting with Marshall, I can't tell them apart unless they got their uniform on. I still accuse them of doing that during the school day and switching around. They say they don't, but I think you do. Marshall was our utility player, which means he played running back on offense, he played tight end, he played a slot back, he played an H receiver, he played a wide receiver. He played everything but just about offensive line and quarterback, and he probably would have if we would have asked him. We moved him all over the place. He was our utility guy that we had to use to move in somewhere. And he filled that role. On defense, he was one of our outside linebackers, leading tacklers. One of the top 2 leading tacklers we had, also an all-district selection. And also played everywhere on special teams. Every one of the special team spots he was in. Trevor McKenzie, starting at running back, had our most carries this year. Also leading tackler on a linebacker. One of the top 2 tacklers at linebacker. Played all the special teams, was a return guy. Had the most carries. So he wasn't the biggest guy there, but he's the Energizer Bunny. He's the one that just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming. Trey Fairbanks, he was our middle wide receiver and middle linebacker. That's not a typical combination, but Trey's been a linebacker usually on the outside his entire career, and we moved him to the middle, which is usually a spot for a lot bigger guy, but he is very, very aggressive, and that makes up for a lot of that. So if you look at our linebacker core, we got 3 guys playing linebacker at a varsity level at state tournament, and the biggest one's probably 140, 145 pounds, but they are the top 3 tacklers on the team, and they did their job. And that goes back to what I said about Alex, I guess, a little bit. It's not the size of the dog necessarily, it's the size of the fight in the dog. So they did an excellent job, and Trey got moved around on offense a lot too, sort of like Marshall did. He played some wide receiver, he played some tight end, was a backup running back, so he was a real versatile player at that spot. Jesse Feltus came in and started at guard for us, played nose guard a lot. He was not the biggest guy, but another guy that just had an endless battery. He just keeps going and going and going. I think if you ask the kids at practice who they'd rather not go up against, it's probably Jesse, because on defense, Jesse just don't stop. He's just a relentless player and uses a lot of his speed and quickness to his advantage. I believe that's all of them. I hope I didn't miss any of them. As far as the rest of the team, in the last 9 years, we haven't had a lot of freshmen contribute on varsity, other than a little bit here and there on special teams. We were a pretty young team this year. We had some sophomores starting on the offensive line with Tate and Hunter Stolle, Tate Condred, and we had a couple freshmen actually starting for us with Sam Ryer at DB, Ty Gullickson at DB in the at a few games, JoJo Thompson at a offensive line and defensive line spot at times. So, but everybody contributed. I think we talk about this every year about how good your team's going to be is going to depend on how good of backups you have, because they're the guys that push us every day in practice, and there's no doubt that our scout team was the best. And I'd like to thank our coaches, Bill Munt, Mike Fairbanks, Aaron Drotz on the varsity, Kevin Gullickson, and Brian Berman on the junior high, and Mike Ninus and for doing all the videotaping. I think this was going to be his last year videotaping after 36 years videotaping for the Deer River Warriors. You can't replace that. I don't think there is another school that has as good a videotape person that we do. He's very proud of his work and does an excellent job, and he's going to be very hard to replace. You know, we could sit here for another hour and talk about games and highlights and things like that. And the great thing in today's world is everything's on Huddle and everything's will be there. And hopefully you guys have downloaded that and kept some of those things. But I'd like to thank the seniors again for their efforts the last 7 years, and actually longer than that, all the way back to 4th grade, and their parents for helping support Deer River Warrior football. Good luck in the future, and hope to see you back on the sidelines, you graduating seniors at a game next year. Thanks.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you to all that worked so diligently and quickly to move this amazing event into a virtual setting. As I enter my 8th season of coaching the DRHS cheerleading squad, I have the same goal that I've been trying to reach. That is to end the season with everyone I began with. I tell the cheerleaders at the beginning of the season this goal, and they all say this is the year. For the first time in 8 seasons, I began the year with 11 athletes and ended with 11. Our cheerleading season is long, and on Thursdays they could be cheerleading for wrestling in Nashwauk, and Friday they need to switch gears and bring their best for a rivalry basketball game in Big Fork. Every season as the coach, I have set this goal, and due to this wonderful squad, not only did we finish with everyone, but they finished strong. I am so proud of these young student athletes. Someone came up and asked, "How do you get so many girls involved?" I shrugged my shoulders, but then said, "I think it has to do with community support. These cheerleaders cheer at girls and boys basketball games, wrestling meets, pep fests, and they do it with great pride. They also have an amazing supportive administration, teachers, coaches, student body, and community members. Best cheerleaders in northern Minnesota," said Coach Olson. Leading this year's squad was senior captain Kylie Gullickson and 8th grade co-captain Tia Schultz. Returning to the squad this year, senior Brianna Metzenhuber, sophomore Denise Howard and Remy Cook, 8th grader Brita Isaacs. They were joined by senior Nisha Moore, juniors Kiana Christie and Haley Parrington, sophomore Taylor Grobe, and 7th grader Taylor O'Shea. We will miss our 3 seniors greatly. Kylie Gullickson. This is Kylie's 3rd year on the DRHS cheerleading squad. Last year she was nominated as the co-captain and really stepped up this year as the captain. She has really led with such grace this season, and I could not be more proud of the leader she has become. She is not only the base of our squad, but is usually at the base of most of our stunts. The success of this year's squad is largely due to Kylie's leadership and her genuine love for others on the squad. Thank you for being such a great leader, and we will miss you greatly. Brianna Metzenhuber. Bree is the definition of perseverance. She tried out for the DRHS cheerleading squad 4 times before making it. Despite her struggles and bad luck with driving this season, she still continued to show up. She is usually sporting as much glitter as possible. She says, "Glitter makes the world a better place." We all agree that the world is a better place with Bree in it. We will miss you and all your glitter. Miss Nisha Moore. This was Nisha's first year on the DRHS varsity cheerleading squad, and first year cheering ever. She jumped right in, stunting, and things didn't always click right away, but she was determined to be an amazing base. She was beast after getting the right technique down. I know that we all wish you could have been on our squad long before the season, but we are so glad that you joined us this season, and you will be missed. This is the time of year seniors say goodbye to their high school years and hello to the next stages of life. We wish all of you the best in making a smooth transition to the rest of your life. We will be cheering for you. In closing, I have no idea what next season will bring, but I know as a community we will get through this together. Thank you.
Hi, this is Coach Dale Marlowe, coach of the Deer River Warriors varsity girls basketball team for 2019-2020. Let me introduce you to our team. We had a great bunch of girls this year and a very successful season. I'll start with the letter winners from this past season. They were, here we have Miss Taylor Peck. Taylor played a lot this year. First started out coming off the bench, and then earned a starting spot at some point. And she did a great job on defense and contributed 3-pointers. Got injured the last little bit of the season, but someone who will be relying heavily on next year. Here we have Miss Josie Drotz. Josie's a real fire plug out there and gets after it. She'll battle you nonstop defensively, and really came along this year and did a very nice job for us. Here we have Miss Katie Storley. Katie's a freshman. When I asked for a little support when we had a bunch of people sick and injured, Katie stepped right up and jumped in and spent the last 3/4 of the season on varsity. Came off the bench and did a very nice job, and has no fear. Looking forward to her next year. Here we have Miss Abby Sheeter, speed demon. Abby's extremely fast out on the court and is not afraid to pull up for the 3-point shot and makes a lot of them. She'll be back next year. Looking forward to her next year. Here we have Miss Aislinn Baker. Aislinn had a nice start to the season, then got injured for most of the season. She's tall, fast, athletic, and looking forward to her on the court. Hopefully we can keep her healthy next year. Here we have Miss Antavia Bowstring. Antavia was our starting point guard for a while this year, but it didn't last very long. She tore her ACL and missed the rest of the season, but she'll be working hard, and we'll be extremely excited to get her back next year. Here we have Miss Neva Evans. Neva is a very intense competitor out there, working on her ball handling skills. She's dribbling with her left hand now, which helps a little bit, but she really came along in a lot of ways this year. And again, she'll be back next year, and looking forward to that. Here we have Miss Jessica Regal. Jessica started the year playing half JV and half varsity, and came along and kept coming along and ended up starting as the season went on. We really depended a lot on her for a lot of things, especially on offense. Here we have Miss Tori Antela. Tori had a great season. Really had a big game up in Little Fork the first time we went up there. She's, I hate to say one person is the reason why we won, but she really is the reason why we won that game, because she contributed on both ends of the court and poured in 17 points from outside. Looking forward to her back next year. Here we have Taya Livingston. Taya played both JV and varsity and contributed on both. Did a nice job. Very fast individual. Plays good defense, good offense, and looking forward to her next year. Here we have Miss Grace Berglund. Grace did a really nice job for us all year, both offensively and defensively. Scored points for us and was our leading scorer. And had some great defensive games too, including in the playoffs with 7 blocks against Little Fork. And she'll be back. Looking forward to her next year. Here we have Miss Kristen Schaff. Kristen was a little bit of a surprise for us. I wasn't expecting her to contribute quite as much as she did to start the season. But boy, when she got in there, she just did a great job and contributed, especially on offense. You can see on this picture, she's got her left hand working there. People would forget she's left hand, and it didn't matter if they contested the shot. I'd put money that this one went in right here. She just did a great job and keep the mantra going. Looking forward to her next year. Here we have Miss Ryan Graff. She's my MVP because she does the stats and does it live right during the game and just does a wonderful job of it. And we couldn't do it without her. This is her second year in a row, so she led her this year, and I'm looking forward to her next year. All right, now to the main event, the seniors. We had 2 awesome seniors this year. I'll talk first about Shannon. You can see Shannon working hard there. Shannon really improved this year and came along and was a total team player all year. Here you can see her making some moves. I've got another slide picture of her I'll show you right now. Here she's putting the double team on with her fellow senior, so to speak, and they've got this young lady trapped. A couple things about Shannon. She had a really nice game earlier this year, but she had the block of the century and broke her finger, and then that slowed her down a little bit. I can't tell in this picture. She's got it still there. I think it was later in the season she did that. But she kept playing the rest of the game when she had mallet finger. It wouldn't extend. It didn't matter. She was like, tape it up and keep me playing, coach. And I am looking forward next year to hearing about all her successes in college next year at BSU. The other senior, Alexa O'Hearn, she, when Antavia went down with her injury, she became our point guard. It wasn't her natural spot. Matter of fact, we were planning on playing her at post a lot this year. But boy, she just worked super hard and got better and better at ball handling. So good, in fact, she just took on the other team by herself because I don't see anybody else in this picture. And looking forward to all her successes next year. Again, working on those ball handling skills and showing them off. Nice. So we have a tradition here. Anybody who earns one of these following things, either on a conference award or as a captain or gets a team award, gets something like a plaque. This year we've got these statue trophies, and the next few slides will have the people that won them and what it says on those trophies, and I'll talk just a little bit about them. Miss Taylor Peck, she earned Northern Lakes Conference honorable mention this year. Miss Jessica Regal, she earned a team award. She actually tied with someone for Most Improved Player of the Year. I realized afterwards I had a typo here and left off that she was also honorable mention for the Northern Lakes Conference and honorable mention for the Iron Range Conference. Great job, Jess. Miss Neva Evans, she's the one that tied with Jessica with Most Improved Player of the Year, and she earned honorable mention for both conferences that were a part of the Northern Lakes Conference and the IRC Conference. Miss Grace Berglund, she was all conference for both conferences, the IRC and the Northern Lakes Conference. Miss Shannon Regal, she was captain all year, did a great job. Couldn't be more proud of her and her accomplishments this year, and what a great teammate and what a great leader she was. Here we have the other senior, Miss Alexa O'Hearn. She was also a captain and did a great job doing that. You can tell because she was voted most valuable player by the coaches and the team, and she was also voted for the Team Player Award, which is, signifies the best caretaker in all ways of the team. She just did a great job all year. She was also the Northern Lakes a Northern Lakes All-Conference player, and she was the IRC Honorable Mention player. I can't say enough about Alexa. She missed last season and part of the year before, and my heart went out to her last year when she sat on the bench pretty much every game and took stats and helped, but you could see she was crushed that she wasn't out there on the court. Well, she came back this year and just had an amazing season, and I'm really proud of her, and wow, just fun to watch her have so much success this year, and just an awesome person, an awesome player. Here are the two awesome seniors again in a picture with me, and I feel very honored and privileged to have been able to coach them for many years, and I wish them the best in the future. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, parents, fans, Lee, Brent, Teresa, Mr. Acree, the custodial staff, and everyone who contributed to the success of our season. I especially want to thank all the coaches, Bill Plate, Natalie Bebo, and Michaela Fairbanks, and I would encourage them to work on their card skills over the summer. And of course, a special thanks to my wife, Gail, for all of her support. Shannon and Alexa, I'll miss you a ton next year, and so will the team. At the same time, I am very much looking forward to the amazing group coming back next season. Here's to hoping everyone will have a great year in school and on the court next year. Go Warriors.
Okay, so our wrestling program took another step in the right direction this year for 2019-2020. We added 6 wrestlers to our room this year, and each one contributed at the varsity level. We also added Judd Evans to the coaching staff. Judd brings a lot of experience to the room, and the wrestlers really have responded to his leadership, so it's good to have Judd in there. The team was led by our senior captains, Trevor and Marshall McKenzie, Trey Fairbanks, and Thor Kongsjord. We competed in 13 team duels this year, finished with a record of 8-5, and we also competed in 6 tournaments. The team placed first at the Rush City Invitational. We were 19th out of 42 teams at the Big Bear Classic. We placed second at the Skip Nayland and third at the Bertha Hewitt Verndale Parker's Prairie Invite. First at the Wolves Invitational and third at the Northwest Invitational. We also qualified 7 wrestlers for state this year, which is the second most in school history. To letter in wrestling, you have to start and finish the season, as well as wrestle in 7 varsity matches. So we have tryouts every week. You have to earn your spot to keep your spot. So our letter winners for 2019-2020 are Charles Ikola, Zachary Ikola, Jace Ross, Nathias Parks, Trevor McKenzie, Marshall McKenzie, Ty Gullickson, Deanna Francisco, Trey Fairbanks, Gus Thompson, Jojo Thompson, Austin Munt, and Thor Kongsjord. As I mentioned, we have 7 qualify for the state tournament. Those 7 wrestlers will receive a certificate of participation in the Class A tournament. Jace Ross competed at 113 pounds, Trevor McKenzie at 120 pounds, Marshall McKenzie at 132, Trey Fairbanks at 145, Jojo Thompson at 170, Austin Munt at 184 pounds, and Thor Kongsjord at 197 pounds. These wrestlers received that certificate of participation. One of the 7 also placed at state. Trey Fairbanks placed 5th in state, and the Wrestling Coaches Association, in recognition of outstanding performance and achievement, have named Trey to All-State. So now for the different awards for the season. Each one of my captains will get a plaque for their leadership in the room. I expect more out of them. And this year, as I mentioned, the seniors were captains Trevor and Marshall McKenzie, Thor Kongsjord, and Trey Fairbanks. I'm going to miss these guys as they were the backbone of the team. It's been a pleasure to watch him turn from boys to men. Didn't get Thor until his junior year, but his hard work really paid off, earning him a trip to state this year. Had a great attitude, a big heart, and in Thor's 2-year career, he had a record of 27-16, which is pretty impressive because most of those losses came from his first year. I had the privilege of coaching Trevor for 6 years, and he's the one who always ended up cutting weight. His brother took the heavier spot, which left him a little bit ornery at times. But Trevor would always come down. He's always respectful, always disciplined. Other than the Wolves Invitational, I won't mention that you sat in the cafeteria the whole time, Trevor. But he ended his career with 126-35. Marshall had the privilege of coaching him for 6 years as well. He didn't have to cut, so he was always happy. He's been a good leader, practical joker. Ended his career with a 131-45 record. Both Trevor and Marshall have earned multiple trips to the state tournament. I had Trey for 6 years as well, and when Trey was in 7th grade, if you would have told me that he would be a 4-time state entrant and a state place winner, I would have laughed at you. But he matured in 8th grade. He flipped for him. And he's kept me on my toes, but he's been fun to coach and fun to watch. Trey ended his career with a 203-49 record. Gonna miss those guys a lot. Now for the Rookie of the Year award. This is a first-year wrestler who had the most impact on the team. And that goes to Jace Ross. Jace Ross wrestled at 120 pounds and 113. State qualifier, won a few tournaments this year, section runner-up, and ended the year with a 22-12 record as an 8th grader. The Dennis Hall Award is for perseverance in wrestling. This goes to Zach Ikola. Zach battled adversity through the whole year. In fact, spent a time in the hospital as well with some health issues. But he pushed through, he worked hard, he didn't let up. and ended the year 18-6 and just missed the state tournament in an overtime loss. But Zach pushed through the year, had a good year. Cale Sanderson Award for the most wins goes to Trey Fairbanks with 36 wins. Trey would have hit 40, but we had 3 cancellations this year due to weather and sickness. The Bruce Kinseth Award is given to the wrestler with the most pins, and this also goes to Trey Fairbanks with 25 pins. The Jordan Burrows Award goes to the wrestler that displays commitment and dedication. This award takes into consideration attendance in practice, work ethic, attitude, and this award goes to Marshall McKenzie. We had one wrestler pass the 100 career win mark this year, and that goes to Trevor McKenzie, again finishing his career with 126 wins and a season record of 24-4. The next award is the Record Breaker Award. In 2003, a new record was set for career wins by Dan Essig with 185 wins. In 2018, that was beat by Jace Jeving with 195 career wins, and this year it was beat again by Trey Fairbanks with 203 career wins, and that's with, as I mentioned, the 3 cancellations. So 200 career wins is a pretty elite group in the state of Minnesota. And the final award that I have today, and this really is the highest award that I can give. The Coaches Award is given to honor a wrestler who displays character, integrity, and work ethic. This award is given to a wrestler that is self-motivated and motivates others. It goes to a wrestler who works hard in the room and on the mat. A wrestler who's consistent, does his schoolwork, he's respectful to others, respectful to the coaches, and this wrestler takes instruction well, he leads by example. So this year the Coaches Award goes to Trevor McKenzie. And so that concludes the award ceremony. You guys have a great summer. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the 2019-2020 Deer River Lions Club Awards Banquet, Boys Basketball Edition, COVID Edition. Welcome. I'm going to try to do the best job I can here and try to make it as much fun as possible from a distance, obviously. I'm just going to go over a few things, season recap, and do some thank yous, and then we'll get into a slideshow that I put together. A picture says 1,000 words, and I've got a great slideshow that just goes over the past year, and this is the entire year. It goes back into the summer. We have some really fun photos from some of our summer workouts and some other things that we did as well. So to start off, just want to talk about the season a little bit. It was a really wonderful season. A lot went into this season, starting back in May when I was hired. There was a lot of uncertainty. I didn't know how things were going to go. But just throughout the interview process with me and me looking into taking this job, it seemed like it was a place that had a lot of potential. I know there's a lot of people in Deer River and in the area that love the game of basketball, and I think when people love the game of basketball, it makes it so much easier to accomplish goals, not just in basketball, but around basketball. And just right away last year, first thing was just meeting with administration, working out some of the finer details, and then getting in contact with the coaches that were already here. Did some interviews with them, and I thought it was just great. We had three guys in the community that really loved the game, and I thought that we could really work well together. So with that being said, we got started on a summer program right away, and we had a great summer, and then rolling into the season in the winter, the boys put a lot of work in to the season, and sort of the coaching staff, and sort of the administration, and parents and teachers. It was really nice to just connect with everybody and just get everybody together and work together, and that's everything that I've always dreamed about as far as having a basketball program. So first thing, just thank everybody for that. I thank everybody for that. As far as the winter season, ended 18-10. We had some ups and downs. I think mostly ups. We had a lot of fun. Had some big victories. Beat two number one teams. Beat a number one team in 7 single A, Northwoods at the end of the season. That was a huge victory for us. It just showed really what we could do and just kind of putting everything together by the end of the season. And it was a really fun win. Then dating back to the middle of the season, we beat the number 1-7 AA team, Virginia. It was just probably the best moment of the season, being that we hadn't beaten Virginia in 14 games, which occurred over the course of 7 years. A lot of emotion went into that game. I talked to a lot of community members about that game, and everybody was just really excited and what the boys were able to do and the coaching staff was able to do. It just with everybody being on the same page, it feels really good to have games like that. And just overall, we did have some really nice wins, and we also had some losses that with our young squad. Hopefully they taught us some lessons. And as we get older overall as a team, hopefully we remember those things and learn from them. And pretty soon we're going to be one of those older teams. Like I was saying, generally we're a younger team. But in order for this team to be successful this year, we needed everybody to come together. And I knew we had talent that was older and we had talent that was younger. And I think it was really important that somehow we find a way to gel and work together and just be unselfish. And I was amazed at how unselfish everybody was, starting with the seniors. To be an upperclassman like that and just to put yourself aside to play with the younger guys. I thought our seniors did an amazing job of that. Logan and Colton and Dom and Brandon just showed a lot of character. And it's something that I sat down and met with them about in the beginning of the year. And just talking about, these young guys, they need leaders. And you guys are men. And, you need to show them the way. And they came every day to practice, worked their butts off, didn't complain, communicated, pushed the younger guys, and made them better. And it's just something that those young guys are never going to forget. And I just hope that it was passed down to those younger guys, so when they're in that position, when they become seniors, I just really hope that they'll pay it forward. And I really believe they will, because I think we have a special group of young guys as well. Just going to try to move along now, get into some thank yous. There's a lot of people that put a lot of work in to make a season successful and enjoyable. First, I want to start with my coaching staff: Cole Schultz, Phil Johnson, Eugene Opa Jenkins. I hope they all come back next year. I believe they are. They were so great to work with. I really felt that in the meeting rooms, I really felt we could all be very, very honest with each other. And that goes a long way. It just, everybody was comfortable. On one hand, on the other hand, nobody was afraid to ask tough questions or make observations without hesitation. They shared the observations with each other. We did. And so I can't thank those three guys enough. I just truly feel like we have the most solid coaching staff in the section. I really do. When you look at from just top to bottom, it was just a really great thing. So thank you guys. My managers, Jenny Tyler, Brady Gable, Kiana Johnson, they did so much more than they were asked. Jenny Tyler, you're not replaceable. I know we'll have other managers that will bring their own qualities, but there won't be another Jenny Tyler. She just did everything from running makeup sprints for the guys on the side, running them through that. I gave her a whistle. She just was a coach. She was a scorekeeper in practice. Waters, towels, just everything. I never had to ask. She was always just there, ready to do the next thing. So thank you, Jenny. And Brady Gable, I never had to worry about Brady. He's just the quiet man behind the camera, but he was always there and he always did a good job. And I just, knowing that he was the football camera operator as well, I just gave him the camera and said, do what you think you need to do. And I just trusted him, and I never had to say anything to him. He just did it. Packed up the camera, gave it back, and we thanked him every time, and he did a great job. So thanks a lot, Brady. And then next, Kiana Johnson. She was more like a student coach. She was doing some manager type things, and I just thought, you know what? Kiana has such knowledge of the game that I wanted to put her in more of a evaluation situation. So we made her the statistician. So she sat on the bench with us, and she was doing shot charts, and she would report to us if somebody from the other team was hot. And sometimes as a coach, you need people around you helping you, especially throughout the game when the game's moving fast. And Kiana was just like an extension of the coaches, and she did a great job. So thank you, Kiana. I hope you manage next year too. I hope you play next year, but if you don't, we'd love for you to be our manager again. Next is our trainer, Matt. Matt's another extension of the coaching staff. Matt is just a really cool guy, very active trainer, and he would just do whatever I asked. He'd be there. He would take calls after practice, before practice, just all day long. It didn't matter. So thanks so much, Matt. Our office staff, especially Teresa and Lee, all the phone calls, all the paperwork, just keeping things in order, just checking in, information. They just know everything. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. It's so much appreciated. I can't even express enough in a short video. Our administration, our bosses, Mr. Shimmick, Mr. Acree, Mr. Gross. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but just to be cohesive with the administration and for things to be clear is just worth so much. Just really made my transition to Deer River flawless. I just really enjoyed working with you guys. Mr. Gross, with your support and enthusiasm, that's just all we really needed from you, and it just motivates us every day knowing that we have someone like you in charge and just overseeing operations. Mr. Acree, just being able to report to you things and check in with things around basketball, like not just the stuff that's on the court, but just the vibe of the school about the basketball program and the vibe of the kids, and just hearing you report back to us how the kids were enjoying the basketball program this year was really important to us. It was really fun just to be able to communicate with you throughout the years and everything, so thanks a lot. Mr. Shimmick, I really appreciate you. I appreciate how straightforward you are about stuff. I appreciate how on the ball you are about stuff. Just when something needs to be done or taken care of, I'll ask, it's done. You're doing it right there. I mean, you don't need another meeting to get something done. I go into your office, ask you for something or mention something, and you're clicking around on your computer, okay, done. Just those types of things are really appreciated. I also like your input, being that you're another coach. It's just nice just to sit around and chat with you about stuff. On one hand, on the other hand, you let us coach. You weren't butting in and didn't have your thumb pressed down on us all season long about certain things. You let us coach, and if there was an issue, you brought up the issue. If there was good things, you brought up good things. So I love the feedback. It's honest. It's makes our job easier. So thank you, Mr. Shimmick. Just some more thank yous. Heather Shankin and the movement, just your enthusiasm around athletics and the students. Thank you very much for everything that you do. We're proud to put hashtag See the Good on the back of our warm-ups, just so we help spread that message. So thank you very much for everything that you do and the movement does. The custodians, Dave Daigle, and the rest of you guys. Our school is always just in tip-top shape. Our floor is getting scrubbed before every practice. You all just do such a wonderful job. You do so many things that people don't see, but the people that are working in the school notice. And I want to thank all of you very much. It means so much to have such a great group of custodians to work with, to visit with, and to joke around with, and thank you guys. Score table workers, Jim Daigle, Chuck Isaacs, Derek Goggle-Eye, you were there the most. Thank you guys very much for everything. It's also fun just chatting with you guys, and I just can tell you guys love the game and really enjoy being right there, and just our conversations after the games. And thank you guys very much for doing a flawless job. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I need to say after games for anything. You guys just do the job and you do it well. So thank you. Bus drivers, getting us to and from our locations safely. That's a huge thanks. I just wanted to thank you guys for that. Teachers for working with us, keeping us updated on things that are going on. I think it's so important for us to work with the teachers so we can just help the kids in more ways than just one. Academics is a major thing for us, and being able to work with you guys, we had a lot of academic success with the team this year. We put that program in place. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail right now about it, but at the end of the day, right in the middle of the season, we had 0 Fs. We had 0 Fs. Everybody got every credit that they took from grades 9 through 12. And that's an amazing thing in itself. And it took a lot of work. The boys put in extra time when they were behind, and we knew when they were behind because you guys would tell us. So thank you so much for that. Super important thing. Fans, we had such a great fan base. We had people coming to away games when we went up and beat Northwoods. I think there was more Deer River fans there. I mean, it felt like a home game. It was just something amazing. So thank you, fans. Hopefully there's more excitement in the future, and hopefully we can do even better things next year and give you guys reasons to cheer real loud. Parents, for all your support during the season. Just quickly and briefly, we did meet at the beginning of the year and talk about some things and just communication things, and it was so good. I'm so impressed with working with the parents with any issues and just everything. And I just can't thank you guys enough. I could talk another 15 minutes just about that, and we will talk more. But thank you guys so much for everything you do. A special thanks to the parents as well for organizing the meals. Lynn Evans kind of took the helm of that and just got everybody down on a list so they could so we could do team meals together, and that was important too. It really made us a family, being able to go into your room, Lynn, and watch YouTube videos and have these wonderful meals prepared for us. Give thanks to each other, give thanks for everything, just appreciation. It just takes us off the basketball court and helps us just see each other in a different light, not just the lights of a basketball court, more of a family setting. So it was really wonderful having that as an option. So thank you so much. I got to thank my wife, Claire. Last but not least, my wife, Claire. She just has always had unconditional support of me. She helps me with everything. She She helped me with my awards for this. She helped me with the slideshow for this. She just is there for everything, and I just really want to thank her. I don't know if I could stay sane if I didn't have her coaching me and helping me along the way and just being there for support. So thank you so much, Claire. And now that's basically going to be it for me speaking. I went a few minutes over. I'm going to attach a slideshow to this as well. And as far as awards, my slideshow is going to have the letter winner list, varsity letter winner list. It'll have the stat awards. And I also have a few fun photos from last summer, some of the workout stuff that we did, and a couple at the end that involve Lake Day. Lake Day is something that we put in last year. I really hope that we can do that again this year. I'll do everything we can to have another Lake Day. I don't care if we have to have it in November. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll go ice fishing instead of something in the summer. As soon as COVID is lifted, we need to get together and do something like that. It's just really helped build the foundation for us last year, having Lake Day, and kids all throughout the school year just kept asking me, when's Lake Day, when's Lake Day? And I said, we'll have it. Lastly, just thank you to Deer River and the Leech Lake communities for making this season the best possible. We have a large community, and we've got little towns all over that make up our school. And we've got Ball Club, we've got Anger, we've got Bowstring. I'm from Effie. We've got people from Marcel, obviously Deer River, and more towns, Cohasset, and it's just really been great to be out in the community and just getting to know everybody. And thank you all for everything that you do. And I'm gonna leave it with this slideshow. It's about a 5-minute long slideshow. Thanks again. Thanks to the Lions Club for sponsoring this event. Hope you all take care and have a great summer.
My name is Lenora Evans, and I direct the one-act play at Deer River High School. I first of all would like to thank a few people for all of the help that they've given us throughout this season. First of all, Mr. Shimmick, who is always there to help me with whatever I need, and Mr. Acree and Mr. Gross for their constant support of our program. This year we did a play called The Lollapalooza Bird, and it told the story of an old man named Grandpa Todd who moved to the beach to live in a shanty after his wife died. And we see him make friends with a few kids who live down the beach who maybe don't have as much love in their lives. And we see him be so happy with these kids and really show them love and mentorship. And then his daughter and his granddaughter come to the beach because they want him to come home. So we see the struggle that he faces there between his family and his newfound life. And it was a really beautiful play, and our kids did a fantastic job. Our students this year that were involved in the one-act play were Colby Gunderson, who played Grandpa Todd, Chrysalin Dahl, who played his friend Ginny, Brianna Metzenhuber, who played his daughter Estelle, Nisha Moore, who played his granddaughter Sarah, Sarah Hardy, who played his friend Rachel, and Damiana Roy Hamer DeVault, who played his friend Mrs. Baker. Theater really helps us understand a lot of the human experience by helping us step into someone else's shoes. And it was really fun to watch our students develop confidence, imagination, cooperation, memory, self-discipline, and teamwork. Our seniors, Colby Gunderson, Nisha Moore, and Bree Metzenhuber, have been involved in theater since 7th or 8th grade, and it has been so fun to watch them grow and develop their skills as actors and performers, and I really hope that they carry those skills with them into their life after they leave Deer River High School. They have truly enriched my life through their experiences and their growth, and I hope that their lives were as enriched as mine was. So our letter winners this year are Chrysalin Dahl, Colby Gunderson, Sarah Hardy, Brianna Metzenhuber, Nisha Moore, Damiana Roy Hamer DeVault. So thank you so much to those students for giving me their time and their energy and their willingness to perform. We put on 3 performances this year. Our first was for the Minnesota State High School League competition, and the second 2 were for our community and school. We put on a performance for the students at Deer River High School and also for the community. Thank you so much to the families of our students for supporting them, for making sure that they get to practices on time, and for giving them the skills that they need in order to be successful in these programs. Thank you to our school staff, to the custodians, to everyone who helped us out throughout the way. We couldn't do it without the support of our staff. And thank you to the community for always supporting the arts, for supporting theater and music in our schools. Our students are very enriched because we give them a multitude of experiences. Thank you.
I just want to give a shout out to the boys and girls golf team. Obviously the spring wasn't ideal and it was a bummer. And a extra special shout out to Kyle Nelson and Brianna Metzenhuber, our 2 seniors. Kyle, gonna miss your singing on the van, making us all happy, and Brianna, I'm gonna miss our long talks, and good luck in the future.
Hello, I'm Derek Gagla. I coach softball for the varsity girls. This spring was a real short season. I think we had actually 8 practice days that we were in the gym, so we didn't get to do a lot of stuff. This year's captains would have been Nisha Moore and Alexa O'Hearn, and they were also our 2 seniors. So I'm sorry to those girls because they lost out on their final high school sport that they played in. Good luck to them next year, wherever they go. And that's about all I have for spring sports. Thanks.
The 2020 trap team was set for another great season coming up. We were supposed to start right when schools got shut down, so last week of March, and it's usually lasts until the last week of May, and then there's a state shoot in June down in Alexandria. We would have again 20 to 22 kids signed up for the trap team this year. We had 4 or 5, 6 young kids signed up and all ready to go that we're gonna shoot for their very first time. The great thing about trap is it's a lifelong activity, lifelong sport, so it's not just something you do in high school or, you know, a certain age group. You can continue to shoot your whole life. We have some very good volunteers and coaches like Randy Cook, who is a national champion shooter that helps our kids out, and we're very appreciative of that over the past several years. We are losing some kids. Thor Condrick and Colby Gunderson, 2 seniors that have been shooting for many, many years and are both very, very good trap shooters that both have a chance, if they chose to probably go shoot at the college level. Both very good at their craft and what they do. We also have a couple of members that have met the criteria of that will letter besides those 2 because of longevity. Most of them have been shooting since the 6th grade, and that being Lindsay Niemela and Tia Schultz and Blake Fox. So we have a very good core of young kids coming back next year to encourage even more out, and we expect those numbers to grow, and hopefully next season that it'll work out a little bit better. Good thing, like I said before, about trap shooting is they can go shoot now and shoot this summer, and take your family and friends out and go to a range and still have a good time and keep participating in that activity. So it's the largest activity in the Minnesota State High School League. Last year there was about 12,000 participants, so it's a growing sport and activity in Minnesota, and Deer River's proud to be a part of it and doing a great job.
Hey seniors, Coach Berman here. Obviously stuff didn't pan out this spring as we were hoping. Would have loved to have one more go around with you 3. You guys have put in a lot of hard work. But I just want to let you guys know, and we've touched base individually already, but all the work that you guys have put in football, wrestling, before school, after school practices, weight room time, don't think that stuff goes unnoticed. Really proud of you 3 for what you've done over your high school career, and I know that each of you are going to take a different path here moving forward, but all 3 of you are going to be super successful, and I'm really excited for what lies ahead of you guys. It's not a great situation that we're in the moment, but you're going to come out better, you're going to come out stronger. You just got to remember to keep working, and I'm always here for you guys. Just because you're graduating, just because you're out of here, doesn't mean that I'm going to stop caring about you guys. So you guys all have my phone number. You guys all know how to reach me. If you ever need anything or just need somebody to talk to, or you have a question about something, don't hesitate to reach out. But like I said, I'm really proud of you guys. You've accomplished a lot in your high school career, and I would have loved for us to have another go-around in baseball this year, but it just wasn't meant to be. So yeah, I'm just really proud of you guys, and keep working, keep grinding, and good things will happen. So take care, fellas. Stay safe.
Hey seniors, I couldn't let this video end without some face-to-screen, yeah, whatever. Me letting you guys know how much you guys have meant to me these last few years. I've appreciated the work effort, the sweat, the tears, the laughter, It's been a pleasure for me to watch you grow and become the adults that you are. I'm looking forward to seeing how Alan becomes a EMS specialist and EMT, how Colton becomes a social studies teacher. Who didn't talk him out of that? Alex will be at the tribal college next year. He's been a great captain. He's come so far. I'm sure he'll be successful. And to Shannon, thank you for your 7 years of hard work and willingness and leadership. I'm sure you'll be successful next year at BSU, become a nurse or nurse practitioner while running track. Again, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you for watching our virtual awards program. You will all be receiving an email or a contact for a virtual pickup where you can come in and pick up all of your awards. They will be packaged up in packages or a box for you to be able to drive by and pick them up. You will be receiving an invitation to do that in the near future. Some of the ones where they're just maybe individual certificates, we'll probably mail those out. But we'd like to thank you for all your participation and success this past year. We'd like to thank the athletic staff and the fine arts staff and any activities and directors and advisors that have helped put this all on this year. Lee Ayers for dialing up the program and getting everything all put together. I'd like to thank the parents for all their time that they put in hauling kids in and getting them here. You know, activities are an extension of the classroom. High School League likes to call them education-based activities, which they are. Many times they learn life lessons there that it's hard to learn in a classroom. And they're all lessons that are part of life, and we'd like to, again, thank the seniors for everything they've done in their careers here and hope they have a successful future.